Hey, welcome to Games with Trev. I'm Trev and this is Monique. Today we're going to be ranking every single faction in Root, so stick around to see where they're at. Before we start, we wanted to let you guys know that we're not going to be explaining every faction and the game in this video. We're just going to be ranking you and telling you what our quick likes and dislikes are of a faction, and then move on to the next one, and to try to keep it pretty short.
So to start off, we're gonna talk about Marquise the Cat.
Mm-hmm.
And for my ranking, he was number 5 because I feel like he's a super base, like simple, easy to learn, but also I just like it because it's resource management.
Yeah, he is pretty cool, but he doesn't have that wow factor for me. So I have him down at number 8. I know it's kind of shocking. He is in the base game, but yeah, there's a lot of other ones that I'd rather play.
Yeah.
Okay. The next one is the Vagabond. And this is the one that Monique loves. She talks about all the time, I feel like. So I'm thinking it's going to be up on the list. But for me, it's number 9. It's not my least favorite, but it's all right. I mean, like, it's just kind of different and it's kind of strange.
This may come as a surprise for some viewers, but...
Some viewers, try this viewer.
It's number 10.
What? How is it lower than mine?
I just think he's very different, and if there was other factions that were like him, I would like playing him more. I love the idea of it and playing as him when I do. It's just like it's so difficult to win and to even like feel a part of the game sometimes that I just put him down there.
I guess that's fair. He is really hard to win with. Okay, the next one we have is the Eerie Dynasty. This is again in the base box, and they're a really great faction. Honestly, they're pretty standard. I would say that they're just, I don't know. I think they're kind of all right. I have them at 6, just because they're kind of just mediocre. I don't feel like they're so crazy, but that's what I think.
And meanwhile, over here, they're my number 1.
I'm so sorry.
Because I just love the simplicity of it, but you can make it as complex as you want.
I guess that's true.
You can cater this faction to your ability, and I love that. And I just have loved them since the beginning. So.
That's fair. The next one is the Lizard Cult. These guys are hilarious. They're so different, and they have that like weird culty vibe where you have to kill people to win. And so for that reason, I have them number 4. I think they're just really fun to play with, and they're crazy.
Mine's number 4 too.
Hey,
for, like the exact same reasons, basically. Like that, it's just like so different from the other ones, and I think it's hilarious, and it's just good.
True, they're so fun.
Okay, the next one is Keepers in Iron. These are the badgers that are trying to collect their treasure from all the different clearings, and for that reason, it's number 7. I feel like this guy is very different, but almost in the wrong way.
Yeah, they're just like, no, not in the wrong way. It's just really hard to do it. It's really hard to be able to keep your feet in the ground and not lose your spot, because it's all about keeping control of an area to be able to get those things. And for that reason, they're my number 10. It's just because it's just too hard to do it. And it's just like almost any other faction will overpower them within a couple of turns.
Yeah.
And that's the hard part, is you have to restart as a Keeper in Irons a lot, and it's super hard.
That's true. The next one is the Corvid Conspiracy. These guys are awesome. There's the tokens out on the board that can do all these different things. It can blow up a clearing. It doesn't let people in a clearing and all this other stuff. And for that reason, they're my number 3, because I love just like all the different things you can do and how much control you have of the mechanism.
Yeah, and they're my number 2 for that same reason. I think they're so fun to play with. And the thing is like everyone always forgets about them and forgets about their power, and they kind of like let it go. And so you can kind of come up from underneath and take over, and I love it.
Mm-hmm. If I was playing Root Pro Leagues, I would choose them.
Yeah, they're so fun just because everyone... That's true. I would actually probably do the same. Okay, the next one is the Woodland Alliance. This is the one they like to revolt and get all the other characters in the Woodlands to basically help them out to take over a clearing. And for that reason, they're my number 3. They're kind of like the Corvid Conspiracy, but they just are a little bit more streamlined. And they're really fun to play with, and I like how they kind of take over the map sometimes.
And they are my number 9.
What?
Granted, I will say I have not played them a ton, so it could be just lack of understanding. But from the times I have, it just doesn't feel as like I have. If it honestly feels like I'm trying to convince people to join my alliance. Mm-hmm. Like that's how the gameplay feels. It's just super.
That's the point.
Out there.
That's the point.
I know it's a point, but it's just like I don't know.
Okay.
They're all right.
The next one is the Lord of the 100. These are the ones that are red, that are the mice, and they are everywhere. And I just think that they are too powerful. And for that reason, they're my number 7. Just because I think that they're a little too strong, and they're sometimes hard to play with because everyone gangs up on you always because they fear you. But then it's also hard to play against them because they're everywhere.
And they're ranked as my number 2.
What?
Because I just like the idea of not necessarily, I almost don't feel like it's area control all the time. It's like managing all these actions and doing them in the correct order. Yeah. That's the way I see this faction, is like just being able to master which order you do stuff. And I like that aspect of it.
I guess it's fair. The next one is the Riverfolk Company. And before I start, I like to preface a fun fact about me is I am currently finishing my degree in economics, and I love the idea of business and how the mechanism works of business. And this plays it out perfectly. And that's why they're my number 1. They're so much fun to play with. And it's just so much fun to introduce table talk. This is the faction that really starts the going of, oh, if you do this, then I'll help you out do this. But if you do this, then I'll do this for you. And it really starts that going, and it introduces it into the game. And I love that aspect of it.
True. I put them as my number 6 because unfortunately, because we don't have a ton of people to play Root with all the time, you do have to play this faction at a higher player count. And so I put them at 6 because that's where I imagined that I would put them. I thought they're probably pretty fun, but I don't like business as much as he does.
And the last one is
Underground Duchy,
whatever it is. Duchy. But where'd you put him?
He's my number 8. You?
There's my number 5.
So I feel like it's like 8 and 5 are like the same.
Yeah, it's like in the middle. He's pretty good. I like how different he can feel sometimes with the fact that he can kind of enter the board wherever.
I do like the idea of burrows and being able to
pop up
instead of traveling.
Yeah, and like also like having like your investors basically like help you out, give you more actions.
That's true.
It's really fun, but the hard part is like you can get hit bad.
I feel like the mechanism is clever, but it doesn't necessarily always work with the factions that you're playing with.
True. It's really, you have to have a good lineup, honestly.
Yeah, but it's good.
But yeah, so those were our rankings for every Root faction. Obviously, we probably need to be playing these at a higher player count because we play a lot of them at 2. But it's just hard. It's hard to find enough people to play with. But that's okay.
So hit us up.
If you live in northern Utah. But anyway, we thank you guys for watching. Again, subscribe. We're going to say it every time. We're going for 1,000 subscribers. We're going to give away So You've Been Eaten, a 2-player game at 1,000 subscribers. So stick around to see who gets it.
And like this video if you liked it. Let us know in the comments down below if we messed up, if you think a faction should be higher.
Yeah, if you've played Root and all the factions, drop your list below. I want to see it. Anyway, thank you guys so much and have a great day.